Hello students and welcome to 1631. I'll be your instructor Kevin Knable this semester. So all your material is going to be on Canvas, or this is a 100% online course. So please go to your appropriate course section, and from here you're going to be able to find all the content that you need for the course. So today I'm going to be going over the syllabus, some highlights on the significant figure handout, as well as some information on what's expected for your lab reports and formatting, how to turn those in correctly, and to give you some information on the other things like your quizzes and what you're going to be having to do every week. So to start, please let's go to the syllabus link. So click here, click the link. It should open up in Canvas. If it doesn't, it'll open up as a PDF in another link, or you could download it and open it up that way. But like I said, I'll be your instructor, Kevin. If you have any questions, please email me at kevin.knable@utsa.edu. My office hours are going to be held on Zoom. I'll send out an announcement on that later, but Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. So for this course, basically what we're going to be looking at is Physics 2 contents. So the schedule is we're going to be talking about basically charges. We're going to begin by talking about Coulomb's law. How does charges influence the environment? So we're going to be talking about electric fields, some components like capacitors, how does charges move the materials, which is resistance and resistivity, and then we're going to be looking at circuits. So we're going to be talking about Ohm's law, simple electrical circuits, and Kirchhoff's rules, which is how to solve circuits. Then the second main concept for the semester is going to be optics, where we're going to be talking about light interactions, right? So we're going to be talking about reflection, refraction, thin lenses, concave mirrors, and then interference of light in the double slit experiment. And this is leading us to modern physics, but this kind of ties everything together because electrons behave in the same way. So it's going to be really interesting when we get there. So this is the main idea, is we're going to be talking about light and electric statics properties this whole semester. So yes. So what's expected for you is the main thing is when we're doing these experiments is learning how to look at what we're doing and understanding what we're doing. So we're going to be developing critical thinking skills and analytical skills. So this is what I'm looking for when you're performing your lab report. Do you understand what you're doing? Or when you receive information, can you extrapolate concepts and make predictions and things like that? So having good analytical skills is one of the main goals that we're going to have this semester. Now, you should have took 1611 or Physics 1 before you enroll in this course. So you should have the Physics 1 course and the Physics 1 lab as well. Like I said before, all the content is going to be found on Canvas, and you need to have reliable internet access, especially for the quizzes. So you have one attempt to take the quiz, so please make sure that you have reliable internet access. And now some of the requirements for the course is plagiarism. So there's not going to be any plagiarism. That includes AI. So ChatGPT answers, things like that, will not be accepted. So if that's detected, it results as an automatic 0 for your lab report. You can work with somebody else, so if there's another student in the course that you're taking, you can work together. Just please cite their name, but no plagiarism will be accepted. So if you go to an online source and copy and paste, those answers will not be accepted. So late lab reports, so we do have a late policy. So for each day that it's late, it's 5 points off, all right? Until within a week, so then it's a 0. Now, this is a summer course, so we move very quickly. So we're going to have 3 assignments a week. You may notice that if you have 4 missing reports, it's an automatic F. So please be careful. If you're missing 1 week's worth of work, you're very close to an F. All right. So please try to be punctual, especially over the summer. We have a lot of content. I'll do my best to help you guys stay on track and provide you with all the information you need to perform these in a timely time. But please note, 4 missing lab reports is an automatic F. If you drop your lecture, you need to drop this course as well. So if you drop 1631, you should be dropping this course as well. And if you think that there's an error in grading, you have 1 week after it's graded to get to me on that. So usually once everything is done, I try to get everything out a week. So if it's due on Sunday, I try to grade everything and within 2 or 3 days have everything graded for you. So I'll post out announcements when you have everything returned. We already talked about this course schedule. So how's grading going to be working in this course? Well, 80% of your grade is going to be your lab report, and 20% of your grade is going to be your quizzes. Now, to help you out with quizzes, a few key things. You're going to have a quiz for each assignment that you have, so for each content. I'll post a video for each assignment. Please watch the videos. I usually give hints to quiz questions in the videos, so that should help performance. And please read your worksheet material or all the content before you take the quiz, because that's where the quiz questions are pulling. If you watch the videos and if you read the worksheets before you take the quiz, you'll typically not have a problem. You'll be getting hundreds or 80s on your quizzes, so you won't have any problems there. Let's see, worksheets, if you follow the guidelines, those are really easy to receive credit for. And if you watch the videos, in the videos that I post for each week, I also give help on worksheets too, not only quizzes. So if there's like a calculation that students typically have trouble with, I usually include some help in the weekly videos too. So we are on the A plus or the A minus and B plus system. So this is the grading scale that you could see here. And then lab reports. So this is a lab report format. I have a document that's more detailed, but essentially the main thing to take from this is you have to show your work to receive credit. So any lab report with the answers submitted without supporting calculations will receive 0 credit. So you have to show work to receive credit. You have to include your graphs and additional work. Please try to keep it in one PDF. Don't attach multiple files. And then everything must be submitted as PDF. Now, this is not me being mean, but sometimes Canvas will not accept certain formats in Word or Apple's version of Word or different text writers, and it'll just look like a bunch of nonsense information, and I can't read it. So if it's not in PDF, I typically cannot always grade it, so therefore that results in a 0. So please remember to submit it as a PDF, and you should be fine. And then of course this is just your common standard UTSA information on the syllabus. So let's move on to going over the significant figure worksheet. So you could go back to the home course right here, and you could find a significant figure worksheet. So I believe this one downloads, so I'm just going to open up the PDF. So on this worksheet, it basically goes over the how to do significant figures. Now, as far as grading for the worksheets, I'm not very strict on grading on significant figures, so this is more of like a refresher. So just breeze over that. But the main things that you need to take out from this document are the 3 or 4 things that we're going to be doing just about for each lab report. So each lab report will ask you to perform measurements like percent error. So percent error and percent difference, they're different, right? So percent error is when you take a measured value, right, or your experimental value, and you compare it to an accepted value or a theoretical value. So when we use the term percent error, we're referring to this. So you're going to be doing this just about for every lab report. So know this equation. And then the other one is percent difference. So percent difference is basically when you have 2 experimental values and you want to compare 2 experimental values to each other. That's what is known as percent difference. So you do one experiment and you do a different experiment that's basically means the same thing, and you want to compare those 2 values, then we do percent difference, and that equation is given right here. So those are the 2 equations that we're going to be using a lot. And then of course standard deviation. I think a couple of our lab reports ask for this, not all of them, but you should know how to do standard deviation, and that's given right here. So that's the three main things that you need to take from this document. No, so if they ask you how to do percent error or standard deviation, you could always refer to this. And then the next thing is what's expected for the lab reports. So you can find all the information for the lab reports here. Now, every year I have students having trouble with graphing. You must do all your graphs in Excel, okay? UTSA provides Microsoft Office for you for free through your email or your Outlook. So if you don't have Excel and you need to download it on your computer, please email me and I'll help you download Excel. But you must do all your graphing in Excel. And if you don't know how to use Excel, that's okay. Just click this link right here. And I have a video that will go over how to make and do plots in Excel. And if you follow this video, you'll get hundreds on your graphs, easy. So using Excel is pretty simple. Just follow this video. Now for the grading rubric, this is a rubric is what's expected on your lab reports. So this is basically an outline. Did you send it on time? If yes, you don't have to worry. If no, it's 5 points off per day, and then after a certain point of time, it results in a 0. Does it follow the 3 roles format? So you have to have it basically submit it as a PDF, and I'll give you the other 2 rules below. And if you do all these things correctly, you'll receive a grade and feedback after I grade it, right? So due dates, so this is basically the timeline for all the labs and quizzes. So new quizzes are available in Canvas. So at the beginning of each week, you should have the 3 quizzes available for the 3 assignments for the week. And then all the assignments, quizzes, and lab reports are going to be due each Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So make sure that you have everything turned in on time. And then you have until Friday to have everything completed. So if it is late, you have until Friday. So after Friday at midnight, it usually results in a 0. All right. So this is the due dates or the due date timeline. So the 3 rules that you must do. So rule number 1, like I said before, is make sure you upload your work to Canvas as a PDF. This is very important. It must be a PDF. So the first thing you should say, it has to be a PDF so I can grade it. Rule number 2 is use the lab report template, right? So basically, you're going to have the worksheets given to you. So what's preferred is that you usually fill it out on a tablet and you submit it, or you print it out and you fill it out by hand and you upload it as a PDF. Is easier. You can also type your answers. I mean, it's not recommended. It's usually harder for me to read, or not read, but to read your equations and things like that. And pasting pictures, it's acceptable, but I prefer these 2. So if you follow that, you're fine. And then another major rule is do not send the introductory part. So please just cut out this content. So all the stuff that comes before the worksheet, just submit the worksheet itself. So cut out the instructions and only include the worksheet. If you follow these 3 rules, everything should be fine. And then this just basically gives you some ideas for the grading rubric on what I'm looking at for graphs, like formatting the title, the data, trend lines if required. It'll tell you in the equation if you need a trend line or not. And then again, in the Excel video, I show you guys how to add trend lines and how to produce these graphs. So if you follow that video, you should be fine. And then I give you some guidelines on how to do answers and calculations. So always try to include your units and answer your answers fully. So like right here is an example of what a lab report would look like. And then it gives you some guidance on how to answer questions and things like that. So for example, when you don't simplify your equation, so write everything out fully, and then write your general equations, and then show your calculations, and then write your final answer, things like that. If you follow all these formats, you should be fine. So when they ask you, do your results support the theory, always refer to your experimental values, and then talk about general findings, like what you discovered on the experiment, and then if you got bad results, justify why. So it went wrong because of this or that. Now for our course, we're not in person. If something went wrong, that means something went wrong on your end. These are simulations, so the simulation should always be perfect. So you shouldn't have large percent errors in these experiments. If you have large percent errors, that means something's going wrong somewhere. So you should be able to perform these nearly perfect or have very, very low percent errors. So if you're getting a high percent error or high percent difference, something's going wrong on your end. And if you need help, just please email me in, and I'll help you try to spot what went wrong. But other than that, if you follow these guidelines, it's really easy to get hundreds on your lab reports just following these rules. So let's go back. So yes. So this is pretty much all the information that you need here. So follow the lab report rules. If you need the equation for percent difference and percent error and standard deviation, you can find it in this handout here. Next week, we're going to be having our first labs, right? So next week, you're going to be doing Coulomb's law, which will unlock on July 8th, electric field around a conductor, which will unlock on July 8th as well, and then capacitors, which will be available on July 8th. And then, yeah, so this is going to be your next 3 labs next week. And then when you're going to be turning in your labs, basically, it's simple, right? You just go to your worksheet, you click it, and then you're going to be able to upload your worksheets here, all right? So there's going to be a box that says upload, you upload it, and then you hit submit, and then I'll grade it on Canvas. So next Monday, July 8th, they should become available. And then I'm going to upload videos for each one, right? So on July 8th, expect to have 3 videos, or 3 links to YouTube to the videos for Coulomb's, electric field around the conductor, and capacitor. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to email me at kevin.knabel.edu, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So thank you, and have a wonderful day.